Welcome to the first deep dive conversation of 2019. We're very excited to have Danny Rosin of Brand Fuel, who's one of our promo kitchen chefs, join us for this week's topic. Welcome, Danny.
Glad to be here, Kate.
Yeah, no, we're so excited. And even better is this week we're being sponsored by Maple Ridge Farms. And so they're a fabulous partner of us. Molly and Nikki are great conversationalists for our promo chat, and so we're really excited to have them here. So,
Right.
Danny, our topic this year worked into our schedule of being post Vegas Expo in that it was a topic on follow-up. And you were a rock star for this, and so we actually have two of your tweets that we really liked and really wanted to deep dive on. So the first one is where we had, what's your cadence when it comes to following up on leads? How many times do you call, email, or otherwise contact them, and in what time frame? And how do you sort your leads into VIP versus mailing lists? And so you go, actually, sassy A4 suppliers, what do you do to get distributors to respond to your outreach? What truly engages a distributor to take action and bring your awesome products into the marketplace? And then our other tweet, because again, not just one with you, Danny, you rock them all, was statistically, it takes anywhere between 7 and 12 touches before you make a sale. How do you keep things fresh and avoid that metaphorical/actual unsubscribe button? And you said, if a thoughtful promotional product is not at least one of your business development touch points, I believe that is a fail. Hashtag promochat, hashtag leverage your medium, hashtag power of promo. So I want to tackle the first one and be like, so what has the supplier done in their follow-up that's really engaged you? Like, what stood out beyond that? Thanks for coming by our booth. Here's info. Here's a blah, 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 blah. So what stood out to you as like a really strong action item touch point?
Sure. Well, I'd start with the don't do's. The first one is definitely don't waste your time with that. Thank you for visiting our amazing booth. The mass blast, like emails that you get. Those are the kinds of things that I think they border on digital harassment, actually. They're the kind of emails that get you blacklisted. And so I think if you're getting blacklisted, that's a big time liability for your company. So just don't even go there. Don't waste your time. I think the idea of making the outreach personal is really important. If you want someone to read and then respond, use our names. Use a distributor's name, not the company name, but the person's name. Mention what was discussed at the booth when you met with them in Vegas. So obviously, sort of thinking about that plan on the front end is important for suppliers. But that's a smooth operator move. It means that you're being thoughtful and you're diligent and being really human and personal. I think also, you could ask a leading question that might guide us to selling your products and make us look like the rock stars we want to for our customers. And I think that might appear like a case study, perhaps, that maybe worked in a specific industry where we sell to. We mentioned promotional products. So I think from the supplier side, I think there are a lot of empty promises that happen at these trade shows. So I think sending the samples you promised and then you follow up soon after, I think most people are probably more apt to, and maybe even a bit guilted into responding when you call or email and follow up after they've received that sample. But the flip side of all that is that I realize that all of the stuff I just said at the end there takes a lot more resources, time, and money. But if I were a supplier, I'd rather send 2,000 thoughtful emails that had 30% engagement rate than 2,000 impersonal, waste of time, content-less emails that have a 1% open rate.
Yeah, I always think is like whenever you're a distributor on the show floor, is like especially at Expo when it's so big, is like how do you remember everything? And so that's where it relies on the supplier to make notes rather than just send a catalog. Is like those great questions of like, who is your client base? Who do you think my product could fit for? Like, what is your strength? And then it gives you the opportunity to make, again, what you said, make it personal, of where you're like, okay, hey, it was great to see you. I hope your project on this went really well. Here's this product that will work really well for client X, but I think you mentioned you worked in construction a lot more and blah, blah. Like,
exactly.
Because, whatever we can do to sort of trigger your mind on, oh, right, that was the person I talked to is really helpful.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that, I was listening to you talk, I think a lot of it comes down to like really caring. Like you want to help and you want to make money, you want to sell more stuff, but do you really care about that distributor, that salesperson? Do you really want to help them? And, if you're authentic about the caring side of things, you're probably more apt to close a deal, but I think more importantly, develop a relationship.
Yeah, and then like also it kind of goes into where the onus is on the distributor as well. Is like, did you take time to stop and talk and learn about the product? Like that's your opportunity right there. So how are you giving me the tools to help you, a distributor, sell just as well? Like
Hmm.
versus what I actually got in my booth was scan me and tell me what it is that you do with your products. And I was like,
Right.
you mean while you're walking away and you could just learn right now? It's like, take that time, you're in the booth. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but
agree.
I digress.
That's okay. I feel like this might be a psychiatric
Oh yeah,
session for
I
both
have
of
a
us to
lot
some
to
extent.
unload after Expo. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It's the personal touch is way more powerful than like, here's a form, like here's a bottle, like click here for. It's like, okay, you spend some time. You can remember my name or get my name
Yep.
right in the email.
Right. Right.
Awesome. So
That's great.
the other point was like how many touch points it now takes to make a sale. Like you can make the sale within the first 5, but it is usually 7 to 12, and those touch points range from emails to email marketing to samples to everything else. So
Hmm.
without sort of doing the whole, hey, I just wanted to check in and see how it's going, it's like, how do people make it fresh each time they follow up? Like what are your suggestions for being interesting each time, or like make it worthwhile rather than like it's kind of bordering on harassment here? Like what's your suggestion for that?
Yeah, there's just made me think of Gary Vaynerchuk had a book that came out a few years ago. It was called, I think it was Jab, 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 Right Hook, which to me, what he was saying in the book, it was a metaphor for give, 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 and then ask, in my opinion. So, in other words, like you can't ask her to marry you on the first date. That never works. So,
Well,
be a
Meredith
giver.
does.
Yeah. um, you have to be a giver first, and I think that reveals itself in so many forms. Um, so maybe that's like sharing what you think will help a prospect. Recommending an employee might be a good fit for their company if they're hiring. Supporting a cause that they care about. A little shout out to Promo Cares. Um, Maybe send a book that they'd appreciate. Most of these people that you want to talk to and sell to are on social media, so follow them on social media. Comment in a positive, authentic way, and like, please, people, amidst all the calls and the emails and the social media interaction and trying to take them like to Applebee's for like a steak and lunch, like you have to leverage the badass promotional products medium that we have. You just have to do that. If you don't, like, that's a major fail. So practice what you preach, and then you've got to do it. We talk about this all the time. This costs money and takes resources, but you have to do it thoughtfully with great design, packaging. You have to be incredibly personal. And I think the promotional product in and of itself is your very best calling card. I mean, it is a phenomenal, if not the very best way to open a door, to garner the interest, to hopefully get a sale. But again, thinking about it, not just as a sale, but a future long-term client. And I think those things really are super, super valuable when you think about, our medium, like how are you going to get this to them? And I think you maybe asked me at one point in time about what we do at Brand Fuel. And we have this program, it's called Fuel Kits. And every week we basically aggregate qualified buyers that we've spoken with. And within a week of the conversation we've had, even if we haven't sold them yet, every prospective buyer receives a custom branded kit with this high-end branded gear inside, a personal handwritten note, say thank you for giving us an opportunity. I think it puts that person in that position like, okay, they're really thoughtful. Oh my gosh, they've sent me a bunch of gifts. If they're on the edge or verge of working with someone else, they may give us a second look. It's a differentiator for sure. Might push them to respond to our follow-ups. We've put stuff in there like lottery cards. And just say, we'd be so lucky to work with you, for $1 lottery. Let us know if you win,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. But being creative, through the kit programs, I think is really important.
Yeah, no, and I think that's fabulous because it shows you're going and asking people to spend money with you and or for promotional products. Like, you know, we can help your business with promotional products and you're not using it to help your own business, then you're really not practicing what you preach. Like there's value in
Exactly.
like giving a gift and recognizing it and customizing it and like, yeah, all those details that really work that way. And yeah, and it's, you know, it doesn't always take a lot. Like I have a friend who was a huge buyer for one of the companies and, you know, she was in the industry for years on the buying side, on the marketing side. And she ran into someone at an event and she goes, oh, I have your pen. And it's because someone did a mailer with a pen with her and she ended up working with her, but she's like, it was my favorite pen and I used it for a long time. And like, so there's oddly enough value in pens, value in, you know, especially if I win a lot of money off that lottery ticket, then that's really even better.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And money and sweet treats from Maple Ridge Farms. Another plug for our sponsor.
They're fabulous. They are really good treats, though.
They are great.
But yeah, we also talked about the value of a handwritten note with Rich Patterson when we talked about networking is that, you know, and I always think of it as like, what mail do you get now that isn't, you know, bills or spam or like just junk mail? Like having an actual written note with, it was great to talk to you, love to work with you. There's so much value in that. Like it stands out way more than another email being like, hey, let's talk when you have a chance. Like, yeah, there's handwritten notes are truly powerful.
Agree. It takes more time, but I think the benefits are huge. Also, it makes you feel good too. So it's somewhat selfless and selfish at the same time.
Yeah. Although I have to say my handwriting is atrocious. So sometimes I think about it being like, I shouldn't really write this. They can't read what I'm intending to say.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. I need to find someone else to handwrite my notes.
There are services out there that do that. So
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, they're out there. I know from by way of a lot of people here, when we do our holiday cards, we require everyone to write a personal handwritten note with every thing that goes out the door. And so there are people that have 250 clients, and it's just going to take them forever. So they hire the service.
Smart. You know what? If there is a need, there's someone who's willing to do it. So
the freelance economy.
Exactly. And you follow up on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Danny, thank you so much for being part of our first deep dive of 2019. We love everything that Promo Kitchen does. And where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me at brandfuel.com. But I always like to send people to Promo Kitchen. Being a fellow chef with you, get involved in what we're doing at Promo Kitchen, whether that's mentoring or being a mentee in that program, engaging with us on social media. Find me at promokitchen.org. Read the stuff that's there, listen to the podcast, check these deep dives out. There's some awesome stuff coming out of Promo Kitchen.
Yeah, we're all so proud of what it is. And especially if you want to be a mentor or want to have a mentor, please sign up. It's a great program with amazing people part of it. So yeah, True. Well, fantastic. And remember, join us on Twitter Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Just follow the hashtag promochat.
Yeah,
well, thanks so
Kate.
much, Danny. Take care.
Bye.